Summer nights are strange things. They're not like the skin-cracking cold of winter, or the maddening humidity of spring still shaking off its raincoat. A summer night, it's soft, smooth, like a thin blanket just barely draped over your shoulders while you sit on the porch steps, a soda in your hand, and your thoughts drifting somewhere far away. Have you noticed? When you were little, nights like this seemed brighter. Not because of streetlights, not because of screens, because of me. Yeah, me. That tiny blinking light floating in the dark. Some folks call me a firefly. Others say lightning bug. Call me whatever you like, as long as you remember me. I know, you've seen less of me lately, right? You're not imagining things. I really am disappearing. Not because I've run out of glow, but because there are fewer places left dark and quiet enough for me to shine. But I'm still here. And tonight, I've got a secret to tell you. I don't live long. If I were a slice of pizza, you just put it in the oven, and I'd already be expired. But you know what's beautiful? I still shine. I don't glow to get famous. I don't blink to go viral. I shine because I don't know how not to. Because light is part of who I am. It's how I love, how I speak, how I whisper. I'm here. I exist. And this is me. And you know what? I think you have your own light too. Maybe you've just been too busy watching everyone else's glow to flip on your own switch. So walk with me for a moment. I don't have much time, but if you'll listen, I'll make these few minutes the brightest part of your night. Still with me? Good. Let me introduce myself properly then. My name? Not that important. There are over 2,000 different kinds of us all over the world, so I doubt you'd remember mine anyway. But I belong to a tiny group called Photinus. If you're curious, that name comes from the Greek word for, light. Sounds like a fancy Instagram filter, but I've been around way before you had Wi-Fi. I don't just flit around aimlessly, you know? I have a home. Damp earth, soft grass, low shrubs, places where blinding lights don't poke their noses into everything. Where darkness isn't something to fear, but a perfect stage for me to shine. Think about it. Have you ever seen fireworks in broad daylight? I lived underground once as a larva, and believe it or not, even then, I glowed. Not to be flashy, but as a warning. I'm toxic, don't eat me. I mean, come on, how cool do you have to be to walk around as a living neon warning sign? I don't have time to complain, or to scroll TikTok for 3 hours and then say, I have no time to live. I shine, I move. I live fast, I live real, and I don't edit a thing. Each night, while you're debating whether to go outside or stay curled up with the glow of your screen and the same pillow you've been hugging for 3 years, I've already flipped my switch, taken to the air, and started writing love letters to the sky with light. No backlight, no spotlight, just me in the dark. You're probably wondering, so where does that glow even come from? I love that question. You humans are obsessed with light, spotlights, flashlights, neon signs, and the glow of that phone you can't seem to let go of for 8 hours straight. But my light, it's different. I don't need an outlet, or batteries, or fast charging. I was born to shine. Inside me, right there in my tiny blinking belly, is a compound called luciferin. When it mixes with oxygen, ATP, the same energy stuff you use to run or binge Netflix for 5 hours, and an enzyme called luciferase, I light up. Sounds complicated. Yeah, kind of like love. But here's the magical part. My light gives off no heat. Scientists call it cold light, which means I can glow all night long without burning up. Meanwhile, you're burning through your youth with deadlines and caffeine. Why do I shine? Great question. 1. To communicate. Kind of like how you drop emojis, reactions, or voice messages to let someone know you're thinking of them. Each firefly species has its own blinking pattern, like a secret TikTok dance. The females of my kind, they wait in the grass, watching the sky, waiting for just the right flash from just the right guy. If the rhythm, vibe, and timing are right, boom, love happens. 2. To warn. Some fireflies are toxic. Not many, but enough to make bats cautious. So sometimes our glow is a sign that says, back off, I'm not your snack. 3. I shine. To exist. Not to survive in panic mode, but to exist meaningfully. In the dark, my light is my voice, my name. The way I say, this is me, in a world where silence could swallow you whole. And guess what? There's a species called Photurus, female fireflies that mimic the flash of other species to lure them in and eat them. No joke. Fake light. A glittering betrayal in the night. Sound familiar? When someone else shines, you wonder, why can't I be like them? But you don't know if their light is real, or just a shell. Something meant to attract and consume those looking for warmth. That's why I don't compete. I just need enough light to find someone who understands me. And if no one sees me, I still shine. Honestly, I glow every night. Not because someone's watching, but because I can't not glow. Have you ever done something just because your heart told you to? Not for the likes, not for the shares. Have you ever lit up, even if no one was looking? If not, maybe you should try it, because that feeling, it's a lot like actually being alive. Have you ever noticed we fireflies only show up for a few weeks each year, then vanish again? We're not playing hard to get, and we're not trying to be mysterious like some underground indie band. We just don't have much time. It's true. My adult life, as in the time since I turned on the lights, lasts about 2 to 3 weeks. In that blink of a life, I've got to find a mate, reproduce, and, if I'm lucky, leave behind just a flicker of light to be remembered by. Let me break it down for you. I spent most of my life in the dirt. A tiny larva burrowed beneath the mulch, eating snails and worms with a mouth smaller than a toothpick tip. Yeah, I was your classic introvert, learning everything I could about the world in the dark. No one saw me. No one cheered me on. No one patted me on the back and said, "Good job, kid." Then one day, I transformed. I had wings. I glowed. But the moment that happened, the countdown began. Funny, isn't it? We spend our whole lives preparing for one fleeting moment, and then burn as brightly as we can before we fade away. If you live in a big city, maybe this sounds a little foreign. You're used to things lasting, careers, 5-year plans, deadlines that stretch for months. You're taught not to begin until everything's perfect. But me? I shine while I'm still clumsy. I glow even if I'm not sure I'll find the one. I fly even when the wind's too strong. I blink even if I'm the only one out here. Are you still listening? Good, because this is the part I've always wanted to say, but hardly anyone ever stops to hear it from a firefly. I know you're living in a world full of light, but not the kind that's real. It's the glow of phone screens, of notifications, of invisible rankings that no one can quite explain, but everyone's racing to climb. You chase after all the things you are supposed to have, and then keep running, afraid of being left behind. But me, I only live a few weeks, and I've never once felt left behind. Because I chose to stay true to myself, I don't shine to be loved. I don't blink for recognition. I shine because I am the light. And what about you? Have you ever felt like you're performing a version of yourself, just convincing enough for others to believe you're okay, even when you don't? There's something I've learned in the night when the whole world goes quiet, and it's this. Sometimes, all it takes is one person to truly see you. Just one. One pair of eyes pausing in the blur of the crowd to say, "I see you. I really do." I used to hope someone would stop, just once, among the hundreds of headlights on the road, and notice me quietly floating near the shoulder. But eventually, I understood. My existence isn't dependent on being seen, because every night, I still shine. No applause, no audience, just me, being me. And sometimes, I wish you could see yourself that way too. I see you, curled up on the couch, blankly scrolling through photos of people living their dream lives. I see you, alone in your car, playing that one old song, wondering if you're still on the right path. I see you, at a crowded party, holding a smile just long enough so no one asks if you're okay. And I want to tell you, you don't need to shine like fireworks. You just need your light in your moment, and that's enough. You know something? In my world, there are fireflies who flash only once. A single flicker that lasts 1/30th of a second, then silence, forever. But in that tiny, brilliant heartbeat of time, they've said everything. I existed, and I was beautiful. You don't need to be the brightest, or the best, or the most successful. You just need to be the truest version of yourself in the small light that belongs only to you. And if a creature like me, a firefly, with mere weeks to live and dangers all around, still chooses to glow every night, then I believe you, with all that wonder and potential inside, can find your own light too. Even just once. Even for a moment. But let it be the moment that matters. What? I don't wait until I'm perfect to shine. And you want to know something kind of ironic? Even though I light up in hopes of finding love, I have to be careful. Because sometimes that glow attracts enemies. Spiders, birds, or worse, people. They trap me in jars, watching me blink until I don't anymore. But still, I shine. Because I understand something. No one lives forever. But every living thing gets the chance to live meaningfully. What about you? Have you ever delayed something because you didn't feel good enough? Are you living as if you have endless time? Do you know that the most beautiful lights are often the shortest lived? I know I don't have much time, but I've never wasted it sitting in fear. I've spent every moment lighting up. Small, maybe, but real. This world is filled with dazzling things. Ads, achievements, comparisons. But none of it really shines. Not truly. They just reflect. Me? I make my own light. And if I, a creature that lives just a few days, can leave behind a streak of light in someone's summer memory, then you, with all your time, your longing, your power, what will you do with the time you have? It's almost time for me to go. I can feel it. Not by a clock, because fireflies don't wear watches, but by the rhythm in my little belly. Slower now. Softer. My light flickering like a candle in the wind. But here's the beautiful part. I'm not sad. Really, I'm not, because I did what I was born to do. I shined. I don't know if my light reached anyone. If anyone ever saw me drift past the backyard. If someone ever painted me in a memory. But I know this. I left something behind. Not so I'd be remembered forever, but so that when someone sits in silence on a summer night, they'll recall there was once a tiny light that was brave enough to shine. And even as I fade, it doesn't mean the light is gone, because true light, it passes from one heart to another. Like when you tell a really good story, and someone else carries it forward. Or when you give someone a hug at just the right time, or say the right thing to the right person. And maybe it doesn't change the world, but it softens theirs. That's enough. You don't have to live loudly to be great. You just have to live honestly. Shine authentically. In the moment you are here, even if it's only once, even if it's only for a few seconds. Tonight might be the last time I glow, but if you carry that light forward, then I'm still here, in your memory, in this story, in every moment you look out the window and see a tiny spark floating through the dark, needing no one to flip the switch. I am a firefly. I lived briefly, but I shined, and you can too. So, goodbye, but not gone.